Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annette. This is a video after, I would say, a long break. I'm still trying to enter in this new phase of my life. So what is this video going to talk about? The past year, I've worked in the retail sector, as I've been doing for the majority of my working years, and I was happy, and I'm still super happy I got that job because it allowed me to save a lot of money and paying part of my debt and studying now, like investing for my studies now, do stuff, going on holidays. It wasn't easy for me to decide to quit this job because I'm not really in the position to just say, oh, I can't stay home and not having money. But that's what I've been doing for the past 8 years since I graduated from high school. I just went on and off from jobs, saving money, finding opportunities that I didn't have to pay for, or that actually they paid me to travel and to do projects. So if you're interested also in these, like how you can find opportunities to travel for free or like to have experiences, just let me know, because that's what I've been doing. I've also studied before and then I left. So for the past 8 years, I just went on and off from jobs, experiences and stuff, and I'm super grateful for what I've decided. But I have to admit that every time I was doing something, I was just really calculating stuff and making a plan, and that plan had to go the way I planned, because otherwise there was no plan B with money. So it's funny and adventurous. At the same time, it's a bit stressing because if you don't have your shoulders covered, then it's not that easy. But I have to say, that doesn't mean I didn't have a home or whatever. Like, the thing that also allowed me to do everything like this was the fact that I could live with my parents. And then I moved to the Netherlands, but I had help there as well. And now I'm living with my boyfriend. So that played like a huge role. But okay, I'm just going a bit over what I was trying to say. I'm not going to talk about working conditions here or what it means to work in retails, as like what you do as a job or things like that, because there would be a lot to say about the working conditions and stuff. If you're interested to see what I'm going to say, please keep watching the video after the intro. So what I wanted to do in this video is to talk about the human experience there and how it affected my spirituality. Okay, to just give like a very quick overview, I went on and off with like loving, hating humanity. Like, I already talked about some stuff in the past. So I just want to say I had periods where I was very in love with humanity and having this feeling of like hope and optimism and connection and stuff, and periods where I just hated everyone and I was just like disconnected from everything. Periods where things were just together. I mean, overall, everyone has periods, right? Overall, I can say like I might have faith in humanity and I love humanity, but I don't have faith and I don't like all the people. And the problem is that there are a lot of people that don't really behave as we should in terms of like being like kind and, honest or whatever. So for me, this is like a very big topic in my life. Like, how do I approach humanity? Do I love humanity? How can we solve stuff? Is there faith in, I don't know, bringing positive changes in this planet? So it's like a huge topic for me. But I would say that overall, despite I've been working in retails before, despite I've had a lot of contacts with people, working with them, and now because I'm talking about the work environment, I've had like negative experiences, but overall I was like, yeah, there's space for improvement, there's room for improvement. I'm overall optimistic. But when I started to work in this supermarket, so it's like a discount, I was like, okay, that's not really how things work. And disclaimer, I know that what I'm going to say is, I would say, a judgment, okay? I'm not taking things personally because I know every person has its own troubles and I don't know people. I mean, I knew people just for how they behaved in the supermarket, but I'm going to give a lot of importance to how you behave in this type of environments to more or less understand which type of person you are. You can disagree. I would have disagreed with myself before I would start this job, so I can imagine this can create disagreements. It's fine. I'm just reporting what I felt and how these affected me. Because it did in a big way. So how I will discuss about this is not like very schematic or like organized. I'm just going to talk and make reflections along the way. So let's say that I started working, and I mean, probably like what I'm going to say is something that you already know, is just how it affected me spiritually. That is going to be maybe the main take of this. I started working there, and like all my colleagues were super stressed and super like judgy of people and super like annoyed by people and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, I know retails doesn't really work well, and there are a lot of issues in this sector, this industry. And I was like, well, maybe my colleagues are a bit extra, because in the end, if people complain, if people all the time have something to say, something happens, is probably most of the time the mistake of the shop or our mistakes or whatever, which was sometimes, but like the mistakes we were making mostly depending on the fact that the I don't know, the brand or whatever, the multinational thing didn't give us enough tools to work properly. But what I noticed is that people, and of course I'm making a general statement, not everybody was like that, I just want to underline that, but like a lot of people were like that, like at least way more than what I thought. People were just, like making up stuff. Let's just take an example, a price. They were like, that's the price. So they go with the idea that beans are €1, for example, and then you come to me, and they'll let you pay €1.50, let's say. And they are like, no, the price was €1. But even if you bring them and show them like all the description and say, no, this is like 150, and what you saw is another type of beans, blah blah, they would go with their idea and they would find way to just make you feel that you're wrong. But like, man, there's like, it's written, like you can't just make things up. We are in front of the truth. And this is just an example, but like how many times this happened, like I would say daily, of people making things up, either being like whatever, and then they come to you, they support these, and they have the audacity to say it's your fault for whatever reason. Also, for example, we had discounts and you needed to have like the card and activate your discounts to have the discounts. And if they didn't do that, of course, you're not going to have the discount on that product. And then you explain them and they get angry with you, and being told that I am fooling them, I'm spamming them. I'm like, how? Like, I don't know really if this is confusing. It's because I got confused so many times. Like, people just make up things and you don't know what to say. And I try to go with the idea of being like calm and peaceful, and I've been silent when they were just offending me somehow or like saying whatever stuff. I literally didn't say a thing. I was just doing my job. I just let them ranting. I was like, I'm not going to reply to this. But at the end, like the last period, I was just answering, just replying, and just, like my superiors, my managers or whatever, they agreed with us because they knew how people just invent stuff and just make things in their head. So they were supporting us. Okay, we could have made a mistake, but really, like, when we were making mistakes, we were just saying, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. At the end, I was really going after my truth, and I had people apologizing because I was really getting upset, and they realized they were mistaken, and I had people apologizing. There is a need of cooperation between workers and customers, because I know not everybody is interested in knowing more how things work, but please make the effort, because most of the time it's not our fault, and sometimes not even your fault, it's just the system fault. So just cooperate. And other examples are just, people treating us bad when we were working, just giving like shitty answers or breaking stuff and don't even tell us, and just, leave everything there until we notice. Maybe we smell beer and we're like, maybe someone broke beer somewhere. And I don't even want to start with people stealing, because personally I do understand people stealing when you really don't have money and you need to feed your family. I'm like, I understand. Like, I understand stealing. This might be a bit controversial, but I do understand stealing. But when you steal fish that cost like 20 euros, or things that are unnecessary, such as, like skin products or whatever, and things like that, I'm like, why? Like, why? And especially, we had a period where people could have a discount from the government or whatever on like essential food, essential stuff. And okay, fish is food, so it was included. But it's not that people were buying, the normal average fish. They were buying like expensive stuff to get the 15% discount. All these dynamics. And I'm like, when you don't respect people that work these type of jobs, and you think they are inferior, and you think you can treat them as you want because you feel entitled to do that, I'm sorry, but you failed as a human, at least in that sense, at least in the, I don't know, cooperation part, in the solidarity part, I don't know, but partly for sure you failed, because I can understand that everybody can be different outside the supermarket, but I think these places are kind of a test for humans. Like, how do you behave there really says a lot about you, because it's easy to be respectful when you go to, somewhere where everything costs so much, or where you are not in power. But the thing is, customers think they have so much power. And if you decide to use that power that to me doesn't exist against a person that works in a supermarket, I'm like, why? So I just made some examples. As I said, they're not like strictly well explained. But what I reflected on, I was like, this really happened to me daily. Some days too much, I was drained by people. Some days it was okay, but you always had that occasion. And I've, as I said, always felt like humanity, let's say I was optimistic about humanity, and I was optimistic about, you know, everyone deserves everything and things like that. But to be honest, I came to the conclusion, and I know it's hard conclusions. I might change one day. I don't know, I become the new Buddha and I think differently. But like, I was like, okay, I do strongly believe in being all equals. However, I think, and here comes the spiritual part. I really think we need to distinguish from spiritual equality and terrestrial equality, human equality, whatever. In the sense that I do believe essentially all humans are the same, in the sense that we all come from the same source. We potentially have all the same rights, and we can potentially be all like respectful human beings. And I mean, in that sense, if we go into that level, we are all the same. We are all light. We are all part of the same thing. And we need to respect each other because of that. Respecting meaning literally that we need to recognize that. We need to recognize that we come from the same source. And as humans, we need to respect each other and make the effort and loving that essence of humans, that light, that divine part. But we come into this planet and we are not only that anymore. We are here with our body, with our morals, with our behavior, with our mental faculty, whatever. And I'm not, at least anymore, the type of person that only sees the spiritual part. Because if we are on this planet, there is a reason why we are on this planet, and we can go deeper into that with another video because it's going to take a whole discussion. But we are humans as well, and this means that in this planet we also have other duties. We also have other things to think about, to upgrade, to do, apart from just being divine beings. Otherwise we would have just stayed somewhere else. Every planet, every dimension has its own rules, has its own games, and we need to do something specific depending on where we are, in which planet we are, in which life we are, or whatever. And there comes the terrestrial equality, let's say, where we are not all the same. It doesn't mean, yeah, this concept can go very well or very bad, depends on how I explain that. But to me, there is a difference between someone who behaves well, help people, or at least doesn't cause any issue, and someone who kills people and steals and, rapes people. They're clearly different. We cannot say, oh no, they are all the same, they deserve to be treated the same. It doesn't work for me. I can still recognize the divine part. I can still think that we are all from the same source. But here in this planet, we are not the same. We are not at the same level of being humans, which to me does not relate whatsoever to sex, race, religion. I can, of course, have my own opinion on someone who is religious is not the same as someone who is spiritual or whatever. But you're not better or worse absolutely based on these things, because otherwise we are just racist, homophobic, or whatever. Literally, to me, this has zero to do with where you are as a human being, because that's just how you are. It's just characteristics, literally just the type of person you are. But what I value is how your ethics, how you behave, towards other people, how you are providing good to this world. And it's just literally how you are expressing that divine essence into the world, how you are making use of the fact that you can be a source of light. And if you're not using that, you're just destroying stuff, you're just behaving badly towards the other. To me, it was very hard to accept this, because I've always been like, no, everybody can be good, everybody just needs to discover, the light, and they will be good human beings. It just depends on when in their life, but it will surely happen. Yes, everybody has the potential to be a good person, but not everybody is going to do that. And it's probably so hard. To me, it was very hard to understand that. To me, being on this planet the goal is to do as much good as possible and fighting for the good. I'm saying good, but good would include like a lot of things. I could say justice or whatever, and not everybody's going to do that. And we are on this planet to, as I said, fight for justice. So it means that we as humans in this planet, in this dimension, we don't only have to stay there and observe, but we need to fight for justice, for the good. It means that if I see someone beating someone else, then I should, of course it's not easy because there's all the risk related to that, but I should intervene. I should not just say, oh no, but we are all part of the divine. So he has good in himself, in yourself. So the God is going to do something about that. And no, I'm not going to respect you because you're beating someone up. So accordingly to the situation, accordingly to whatever, we need to act. It means that if someone deserves, for example, with some people, I felt like I just need to shut up and be like, go. With some people, I was like, I'm not accepting this level of disrespect towards me, so I'm going to answer you back. But there are levels where I think we are entitled to act in a way that maybe is not seen as super peaceful or whatever. Doesn't matter. We need to fight for things. Okay, this video, as I said, was a bit confusing. It was just as I was talking to a friend, let's say, and making reflections. But I would say the main take of my experience really affected me spiritually, because when you found kind of a balance and you have these, I didn't have a rosy view anymore as before, but I was still optimistic and stuff, despite it's not that I'm not optimistic. I know how reality works and how the system is corrupted and stuff, but I was hoping at least in the people in the collective, so not the people that govern us or whatever, but I was like, okay, at least if we are all on the same boat, we probably all behave accordingly and we try to do the best. That doesn't happen, and it's harsh reality. I'm glad I see that anyway, because the more you understand, the more you have this clear picture, the more you know how to act and how things work. But yeah, the main take is we are, yes, essentially all the same as part of the divine, but when it comes to the human reality, we are not the same, and not everybody decides to follow the good for whatever it means. As I said, good can be declined differently, but just try to understand what I'm saying. And some people really get attached to things I will never understand, how you can get attached to 5 cents, or the idea that you have to be right when you're not, or the idea that you can use your power against a worker for just feel like you have some certain of entitlement or whatever. I don't know. And this is where we live. And yes, this shaped a new way I see things spiritually. And you might say, yeah, well, I mean, you come to us seeing these things. We already knew that. I know some people already knew that. As I said, I was really fighting to be like, we're all the same and stuff. And I had people saying, like, yo, well, I understand, but there are people who are bad and stuff. And I was still going with the idea, yes, everybody can, I mean, people can be bad, but everybody has to become good at a certain point in their life. But it's not happening. And I don't know. And of course, you can say, well, I mean, some people maybe didn't behave well because something happened in their day. I saw the same people behaving the same way. And even there, even if you have a shitty life, that's the test. Because I also had very bad periods in my life, but that, okay, maybe I wasn't perfect all the time. Absolutely. But first, I would reflect on when I'm not behaving well. And second, that's the test. If you have all the issues, if you don't have a nice life or whatever, how human you are is shown on how you behave in these type of situations, to me. That's the test of being like, okay, I'm going to upgrade. And even if I had the shittiest day and I still behave, I wouldn't say like the best customer ever, but just like normal in a shop, then you're fine. So yeah, with that being said, maybe I will find a way to make this more schematic, especially in my life. I just wanted to talk about this. That's more or less the main take of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have experiences, please just let me know. With that being said, sorry for these very confusing and open videos because everything can lead to something else or whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, if you want to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so that you won't miss any other video. And with that being said, also leave a comment if you like, and I see you in the next video. Bye!